Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo, and I am here with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 1, Episode 6 or 7. You know, I have it right down at the bottom. So, how are you all doing? It is a very rainy Sunday morning here in Houston, but I'm out here getting these videos done. This is actually my second recording of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, I did a recording earlier that got chopped and screwed towards the end. I was really aggravated by it, and I really didn't want to put it up, so I was like, I'm gonna just do the video again. I don't know why I'm being a perfectionist today, y'all. I need to take my butt on somewhere, but depending on which video is better, that'll be the one I upload, okay? So you might still see the chopped and screwed, but still no edits, so let me hurry up and get to the review. And yes, you guys, I did my hair myself late last night while I was watching the on-demand versions of these. I don't know. I hate that both of these shows are on Saturday night because most people aren't home. And if they are home, they're not usually in TV watching mode. At least I'm not. So I always end up watching these very late. So I was like, shoot, might as well do my hair. And yeah, it's all right for my first time doing it. It definitely could be better. But let's talk about what happened on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, so let me get into the notes. Since I already did it one time, hopefully this should come off seamless. Okay. So the bachelor party, right? Everybody wants to know what happened at the bachelor party. We got Maurice and Kimmie lying in the bed. And Kimmie wants to know, what happened, babe? How was your night? Were you dancing? Because you're a dancer, babe. I know you were dancing. I said, a dancer? Kimmie, I don't think you understand just how much of a dancer your man is. Maurice was out there like he had a son who was at home, crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he was hungry. And the only way to feed him was to get on stage and dance on the pole for a little bit of money. Maurice was dancing as if he had bills to pay. Okay, baby needed some shoes. He was out there getting it. You would have thought that he was paying for that space summer camp with some 2010 tens that he was getting out there. But yeah, Maurice is saying that he don't really remember. Everything is so hazy, and he's not really sure what happened at the bachelor party. Kimmie said, oh, okay, so if a video comes out later, will you be ready to cop to everything then? So then he kind of backpedaled and was just like, well, babe, there actually was some dancing. There seemed to be some type of, they were celebrating something, and people seemed to be throwing money, and I was dancing, and sometimes people would dance with me. So they're showing the clips of him doing the yoga and the Pilates and, you know, dropping it like it was lukewarm on stage. And they're showing the clips of the girl dancing on him and him throwing money, which, honestly, you guys, Kimmie and Maurice's scene about the bachelor party was actually cute to me. I felt like Kimmie was almost laughing at him like, this boy is something else. I know he had a good time at his bachelor party. I know he was probably dancing with some strippers at his bachelor party. She was just kind of looking at him like, okay. Then she says to him, well, what I think happened is that they were so lame that they had to go and get all this alcohol just to loosen up and have a good time, and they ended up having too much to drink, which was kind of what happened. But in addition to that, Kimmie, I just want to say, you know, once you reach a certain age, if it ain't a little bit of alcohol to get stuff going, sometimes it just don't ever pop off. You know, we tired. We done worked all day. We got kids. Our parents getting older. Our grandparents getting sicker. You know, we got to figure out how we going to get these kids from to and fro. The kids getting sick. You getting sick. You scheduling hair appointments. You washing clothes. You trying to figure out tuition bills and all kind of other stuff. So, yeah, the alcohol do help loosen the people up, and that's probably for anybody really over the age of 25. Not saying you got to be drunk to have a good time. I'm just saying sometimes a little nip, you know, it just helps to get the party started. So then we get on to the Holtz talking about the bachelor party, and oh boy, this is a rough episode for the Holtz, but we're gonna get to them in their other situations in a minute. When they're talking about the bachelor party, first of all, Melody, I peeped that you had on a little lingerie game going on. You looked good, girl. Okay, I saw you. I ain't mad. You looked cute. But when they're in the hotel room and they're talking about what happened at the bachelor party, Martell, I just want to say I felt like Martell was lying from start to finish. I just did not feel like he was being honest the entire time, because we've seen the show. We saw the stripper down in your lap. Did you get a lap dance, Martell? No, I didn't get no lap dance. Oh, okay, so do you think it's okay for married people to be in the strip club? Yeah, I mean, married people can be in the strip club for this occasion, which I agree with. Then he had the nerve to ask Melody, were there men on the party bus? Because it looks like y'all had a good time. I said, brother, what you worried about it for? Okay, you were sitting down on stage getting a lap dance. You wasn't even over there in a private area. What you worried about if men was on the party bus for? See, look at you. Emotional. So Melody is just like, yes. And then she tells him she just playing. She should have kept the lie alive. But Martell says he wouldn't have been bothered if it was men in there anyway. Yes, he would have. Otherwise, he wouldn't even been inquiring about it. So then she's asking him about the money. He said he only threw $20. I was just like, they know we can go back and watch the tape, right? I only threw $20, babe. So unless Martell was throwing somebody else's money, or he had actually brought 200 and came home with 80, I'm sure he threw some money. And so he's showing her how he had threw the $20 and the whole $20 hit the woman. And Melody is just like, oh, Martell, I done taught you how to throw money better than that. You got to throw it like this. You got to. So they end up laughing it off and joking. But I will say that the Holts have plenty of communication issues. And a lot of times it seems like Martell, when he doesn't want to talk about a subject, he either gets angry and walks off, tells Melody he's tired of it and shuts it down, or like in this situation, he kind of tried to make a joke. But I think because Melody wasn't tripping too hard about the bachelor party, she didn't want to make it an issue, at least not at that time. All right, but we'll get to some other stuff later. Now, as far as the Scotts, okay, Tisha and Marsau. Marsau was good at the bachelor party. I honestly feel like Marsau really wasn't trying to get into nothing, but he was going to remember everything that happened in case he needed to tell on somebody. And he was being a camp counselor, you know, doing what camp counselors do, making sure everybody has a good time. Okay, he was getting drinks, buying bottles, making sure he kept the liquor flowing, making sure he kept everybody excited. And kind of playing the brother role as he should have been, making sure my brother has a good time. It's his second marriage. I want to make sure he has a good time. So Tisha feels violated because technically Marsau was buying women drinks. And Marsau is like, no, I was being cordial and I was buying drinks for everybody. It wasn't like I was just like a round for me and then one for my lady friend. I was getting a drink, and if the women were around and they wanted a drink, we were being courteous. We gave them a drink from the bottles we had. Understandable. I think Tisha just wanted to do a little something for the camera. I don't even know if she was that mad about that. But I do want to add in here, I did go to Random TV Reviews. I did watch their review. I think that's the name of the channel. And I did subscribe. You all should go over as well. It's a married couple. They're very funny. And I love seeing their insight on things. I love hearing what the husband has to say and then hearing what the wife has to say. And, you know, some of that good old marriage wisdom. It was good. But Marsau actually left a comment over on their page discussing the plan. Okay, y'all know the plan that Marsau's always talking about. Okay, play your position. I can't really get into the particulars because we'll be here all day, but y'all should go to their channel and subscribe, and you should watch it because it does break down the fact that Marsau and Tisha did have a plan. Tisha is a housewife, but Tisha also owns shares of their business. She pretty much owns their business because she owns most of the shares of stock of their company. So I'm not really sure where this is coming from, where Tisha wants to abandon the housewife plan, but I'm starting to wonder if Tisha is only involved in the company by name and photo only, because she does have a photo on the website, and she wants to be more involved. She wants to be more hands-on in their business, and Marsau is not really allowing that. That's what I kind of think it is. That's what it sounds like, but I could be wrong. But Tisha acting like she ain't got nothing, and so I think that's what made us kind of look at Marsau like, okay, now we kind of seeing your side, but a little bit, because I still got my eye on them. Well, we still ain't quite at likability quite yet, but it helped. So then we move on. And we got to get ready for the wedding. But before we get ready for the wedding, there's dinners we got to have and all the families getting together. It's about 30 or 40 people there. Great turnout down in Miami. Kimmie and Maurice are so excited. And y'all, the things that they are saying to each other and about each other throughout the episode, it's just beautiful. They are so thoughtful of one another. And that's what I love about the two of them. You can tell that they're a couple that may have had, to get through some little, y'all know, like the arguments and certain times where you don't think you're going to make it. They may have had those times. I do believe that. But to see where they are today, I just think it's a beautiful thing. So they're excited about their families being together, particularly their moms talking and having conversations together. But who I was more excited about, the mom that I was glad to see, was Tisha's mama. Because as soon as she walked in and I caught a glimpse of the back of her head, let me tell you something. People who get them tight curls in the back still, the kind that you do with the curlers that do like that, where you got to do your hand like this and then you got to put the curlers down back into the little hot part. Them old school curlers, those women get it popping with reckless abandonment. And that's exactly what Tisha's mother did, and I appreciated it. We needed that. So they sitting down at the table, and hold on, y'all, I want to get it right. Okay, so they're sitting down at the table, and Melody claims that she has some information because somebody went live and she saw what was going on, so they better start telling the truth. I said, I bet you do, Melody, because you was at the bachelorette party all on Instagram Live and Facebook Live, probably just waiting to catch somebody's video so you could see if you could find that loud-ass Hawaiian shirt in the background and see what your husband was doing. So everybody is kind of sitting around like mum's the word. Ain't nobody saying nothing. We not talking. So Melody takes that opportunity to kind of get in with Marsau. Kind of like, oh, I know you going to lie to the end, Marsau. You ain't never going to tell Marsau if you was doing something. You going to lie. Marsau said, I wasn't doing anything. It's my brother's bachelor party. I was trying to make sure my brother had a good time. I was buying bottles. I bought 4 or 5 bottles. We spent about $1,300. And Kimmie is just like, whoa, $1,300. And Marsau was like, yes, it's my brother's bachelor party. I wanted him to have fun. And I don't doubt that Marsau spent $1,300. And that's not, if you know anything about getting bottles in the club, that's nothing. Okay, now it's something to me. I can't afford that. I don't get bottles in the club. I get regular glasses. But what I'm saying is, if you're in Miami and you're getting bottles, it's going to cost quite a bit of money. I mean, a regular drink in Miami could run you anywhere from $12 to $20. Just a regular, couple ounces of liquor drink. So I can imagine he may have spent that much on 4 or 5 bottles. And if I know, I don't know Marsau, but if we can judge by the character of the Marsau that we see on this show, Marsau had that money budgeted a year ago. He was planning on spending that money. It wasn't no surprise money. He didn't take it out the household. He already had that money sitting to the side for his brother, so they probably good. But after that, Melody is looking at Tisha's hand, right? And she's just like, Tisha, let me see that ring, girl, honey. Let me see that ring, girl. It's beautiful. Oh, my gosh, that's so nice. Marsau, where's your ring? You don't have your ring. And then here come Tisha mama. Marsau, where your ring at? $1,300? That don't sound right. Where your ring at? Where your money at? Did you throw that on the strippers with your ring? Is that why your ring gone? Something don't sound right, Marsau. And Melody, the whole time, she just smirking and smiling and hyping her up. Now, Melody, you did stir the pot, my love. Yes, you did. You stirred the pot, but you stirred it effectively. Carlos King must have taught you. Shout out to Carlos King. But I wasn't mad that Melody stirred the pot, and the reason why I wasn't is because Tisha has multiple times gotten in on Melody in her marriage. So as far as I'm concerned, this little bit of shame at the table, hey, she been begging for that for a long time, so I wasn't even mad. But Melody was being messy, but we was here for it. So Tisha is just like, I'm okay. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get upset, Marsau. Mom, please. I'm not going to get upset. It's okay. And Marsau is just over there. I don't wear my ring when I'm drinking. My finger swells up when I'm drinking. I wasn't wearing my ring. And she looking at him like, okay, yeah, but you haven't had it on the whole time we've been here. But it's okay. It's okay, not right now. Now, I do respect Tisha for not putting her business on Front Street at that moment, because we can talk about this at the hotel. Because, you know, Melody would have had it out with Martell right then and there about that ring. But she kind of simmered down. But what I do want to mention is, just like I feel like communication is an issue for the Holts as well as other things, I feel like respect is an issue for the Scotts. And not that he does not have any respect for Tisha. I just feel like there's certain arenas where he does not carry a certain level of respect that you should have for your wife. And the reason why I think sometimes that he doesn't is because Tisha is a personality that is very submissive. To me is not even the word. She places herself as a doormat, but she don't have to. Like, I feel like if she was more vocal with Marsau, like, hey, you don't have your ring on, that really agitates me, and now you kind of trying to make a joke out of it and trying to laugh it off, it's not funny to me. I want you wearing your ring. Just like I wear mine, I need you wearing my ring. You know, sometimes mine get uncomfortable. Sometimes mine get tangled in the hair. But I want you wearing it. This is what I need you to do. And she doesn't assert herself in that manner. She just kind of laughs it off uncomfortably. And it's always like, okay, and all right, Marsau, whatever, Marsau. And so he almost steps on her, but I don't think he even wants to. It's just kind of like she just lets it go. Does that make sense of what I'm saying? But Marsau, he can be a little bit more respectful when it comes to matters. I mean, it's your wedding ring. You would be mad if she didn't have hers on. Put yourself in her position. That's all it takes sometimes to respect a person. Think about how you would feel. Show some empathy. And then you would know, you know what? That's probably not what I need to do in order to show respect for my marriage. So I'm just like, it blows my mind that he acts as if he couldn't understand why somebody would be upset about that. And that's where the unlikability comes in for me with Mr. Marsau. But all this finger swelling, Marsau just admitted you wasn't planning on cheating on your woman. You wasn't planning on getting with nobody. But you took that ring off when you got to Miami because you knew you was going to be with your boys and you wanted to see if you still had it. Okay, I done seen the episode of Martin where he took his ring off at the gym to see if he still had it. Y'all remember that episode? And then Gina found it in the gym bag and it had fell down the drain. Y'all, that was a good episode. I might go back and watch that. But that's kind of what Marsau was doing. So anyway, we move on to the wedding. Beautiful wedding. You guys, just absolutely beautiful. There was rain. And Kimmie, being a type A personality, did y'all hear her say that? I knew I was on the money with that. And liking to control everything. She's just so nervous about this weather. She's heard that it was bad luck when it rains on your wedding day. I've heard both. I've heard it was bad luck. I've heard it was good luck. One thing that I loved about Tisha this episode was how she calmed Kimmie and told Kimmie that it was going to be a great day, that God was smiling down, that he was using this rain to wash away all the bad so they could have a new life together. I like that she did not allow Kimmie to get out of pocket, because some people will just let you get worked up about your wedding day. She didn't let Kimmie turn into some emotional bridezilla. Maurice was so concerned about Kimmie. He didn't even care about the weather. He didn't care about getting married. His daddy was just like, wow, like, you are so calm. And he was like, when it's the right one, it's the right one. I'm more worried about this weather and what it's doing to her. And he ends up sending her this very sweet message early that morning about how perfect she was and that he could not believe he was going to be living this amazing life with her. You guys, I like the two of them together. I just think it's beautiful. It was exactly what Marsau described, y'all. Marsau gonna mess around and make me like him, watch. But when Marsau said, what you two have is what a lot of people pretend to have, is what a lot of people say they have. And that could have been a little shade at the Holts. Was that shade? I ain't even think about that. But it's what a lot of people pretend to have. But y'all have it for real. And it's just beautiful. It's just a great thing, man. I'm happy for you. And that is exactly how I felt when I watched the two of them. Like, this is something that's very, very real. They're not putting on. They're not making it like it's perfect. They know they was dating for 7-8 years and people was waiting like, what y'all waiting on? But they did what was right for them. And it's not always perfect, but it's always beautiful. And they are so happy that life went the way it did for them to be together the way that they are. So when Kimmie goes to walk down the aisle, she looked great. Body was right. Hair was right. I was so annoyed that her wedding was no phones. Was not did not require no. I can't get it out, y'all. Y'all know what I'm trying to say? That she did not require that phones be put away for her wedding. Because when she got up to come down the aisle, so many people had their cell phones in the way. Some people were recording the entire ceremony. I have always thought that was tacky. And that's no slight to anybody's wedding. You can have your wedding however you want. But your wedding is such an important and such a it's such a sacred event. I feel like you spectating and putting stuff on Instagram, putting stuff on Facebook, throwing your camera in my face is taken away from it's like distracting the bride from having that moment with her husband. I respect no phones at weddings. I honestly do not want to get married in front of a group of people. I would rather it just be at the courthouse, me and him, because all of that looking makes me nervous. Like, that doesn't appeal to me. But I know that some people, you want to get married in front of a public forum and all of that, and that's cool. Everybody does it different, but those phones just took away from the moment for me. But she looked great coming down the aisle. Maurice was so happy. And when they got to the front with the preacher and they started saying vows, see, Kimmie is the epitome of a woman who has been with herself for a very long time. Not only that, but Kimmie has probably built up walls emotionally to prevent herself from being hurt. Because when you hurt, especially when you're a mother, you don't have time for that. You don't have time to be wallowing for days over a breakup because you got a child to raise, or sometimes kids, plural, to raise. And you don't have time for that. So a lot of times you build up this shell, and even when it's somebody you love, you still don't want them to see the vulnerability in you, because not even that I feel like she feels like Maurice is going to take advantage of it, but it's been so long waiting for this day and waiting for this moment. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe this is here. I can't even look at him. This feels like a dream. She wasn't even looking at him when he was saying his vows. She was kind of like looking at the pastor, trying not to cry. And the pastor was like, look at him. And she almost had the face like, I can't. Because if I look at him, I'm going to fall on this floor. So just the amount, I could just feel her overwhelm, her heart, her anxiety, her love. It was like a bunch of feelings. Like, this is my dream coming true and I can't breathe. And I just had a tear in my eye. That Maurice is so thoughtful and so sweet. Child. She gave hope for anybody who believes that they may not, I've always believed that marriage would happen for me down the road. I was not ever going to be the one of the 20-year-olds that was married, 25. It was going to be down the road for me. And, sometimes that still scares me. Because what if it never happens? But I just to see that and to see how much fun they were still having and twerking and sweating and the kids hitting the shoot. At the beginning of the reception, kids always get a dance going at a reception, except for the little kids, because y'all know they be doing karate on the dance floor and jumping. The little kids need to stay off the dance floor because they make me nervous. They be done stepped on your baby toe. Y'all sit down some. Go to the nursery. Go to the nursery. But it just showed that, no matter how long it takes, no matter what you feel like you're going through, when your day gets here, it's going to be just as perfect as it's supposed to be. That's the best way I can say it. But they had that sunset behind them, and they wouldn't have had the sunset if it wasn't for that rainy day that they had. It was a beautiful sunset. Like, everything just worked. So at the very end, y'all, because I got to wrap this up, we get back to the Holts. And I just want to say that Martell was so unlikable on this episode. Martell is lying. He is not telling the truth. I don't believe that he has broken off with this woman like he said he has. What I believe is that the woman stopped dealing with him. I don't think Martell had any intention of not dealing with that woman. I think that woman made the decision to leave Martell alone. So when we get outside, Melody uses this opportunity to have a conversation with Martell about what they've been through and how they can prevent this from happening again, because she wants them to have a good, happy marriage. Now, I hope that Melody is not one of those people that come into a situation and can't help but make it about her, because really this is Kimmie's day. But it seems like every time they get together or there's time for a moment, Melody wants to have her moment. When they were supposed to be getting ready to fly off, there's an argument about them possibly even wanting to get a divorce. So now they're late. When she gets to the bachelorette party, she's checking up and seeing what Martell is doing. She's upset. When she gets to the dinner with the family, she's bringing up the fact that Tisha don't have on her ring and, the bachelor party and stirring the pot. Then when they get to the wedding, she wants to talk about the infidelity again. So I know that this wedding is triggering her thoughts about her marriage, but I hope she's not one of those people that has to make every situation about her. I hope not, but I'm just telling y'all what I saw. So anyway, by the time her and Martell talk about the situation, they start talking about the situation, Martell is just, he's dismissive. Like I told y'all earlier, just kind of like, oh, I did it. I took accountability for it. I told you I was sorry. We're moving on and it's not going to happen again. You don't need to worry about it. And you need to quit talking about it. And you don't need to be telling everybody what happened over a year ago. And she was like, it wasn't over a year ago, Martell. This was 6 months ago. And I was just like, okay, yeah. Yeah, this is very, very fresh. And this would explain why both of them are so heated. Martell almost acting like he didn't know that it was just 6 months ago. He's acting like she is confused about the time, telling her that you needed to quit telling our business and anything that goes on in our household stays in our household. And that's when she said the classic line that attracted us to the trailer for this show. You should have kept your penis in our household. And he should have. Martell is going on and on about how Melody just needs to let it go and he didn't let anybody disrespect her. Yes, you did let somebody disrespect me. You had that woman calling my phone saying, will you please tell your husband to quit calling me? You had that woman thinking it was okay to speak to me the way that she did. And he was just like, no. I wasn't a part of that conversation. I wasn't there. She said, Martell, stop it. You sat right there and you let that woman talk to me like that on speakerphone. Well, that was y'all conversation. And I didn't have y'all. It was just excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And when you are dealing with a man who would let another woman that he is boning talk to you crazy and you his wife, there's not only a communication breakdown, but now there's an emotional breakdown. And for all that crap that the men were talking about how women can go off and they can't have a relationship that's not emotional. When y'all cheat, it's emotional. When we cheat, it's just sex. You mean to tell me you had a whole girlfriend to the side that you was with for a year who changed her number and you kept figuring out her number so you could call her and meet up with her and you wanted to deal with her, and you're going to tell me that was strictly sex? That none of that was emotional? Baby, you could tell that to somebody who was a damn fool, because I'm definitely not one of them. Martell had an emotional relationship with that woman. Martell has feelings for that woman, and I say has because it's present. He still has feelings for that woman, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Melody, if I were you, I would not keep lying to kick it with Martell. I would let him know how I felt. Let him know that I don't think it's over with this woman. That we will go to counseling or we will not be together. And it's just as simple as that. Because you're not going to keep skirting the issue. You're not going to keep not communicating with me and then telling me that I'm crazy for wanting to communicate. And you're not going to keep acting like you don't have feelings for this woman. Because I believe that you do. And we need to get to the root of why to figure out if we even need to be together. Because if you holding a torch for some other woman, a woman that you had a infidelity with, what do you want your wife to do with that? You know? At any point in time, how do I not know that you're not going to let your feelings trump the feelings that you have for me? Child, it's too much. It's too much. And he was very disrespectful with it. Very dismissive. He was getting caught in his lies, not remembering time frames and whatnot. I was just like, this is absolutely ridiculous, Martell. You're a businessman. How you can't even get your story straight? Oh my gosh, y'all, I was so mad. I was so hurt for Melody. I was so hurt for her. Because when them nostrils got to flaring, when she started doing all of this, I was like, oh yeah, she real mad. So anyway, y'all, this is almost 30 minutes long. So let me get off of here. This video is better though, so I'll put this one up. Like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. And I'll see y'all soon. Bye.